So while you're doing these activities, what I want you to do is have a think about, are these strength-based activities or are they endurance-based activities? For this game, what you'll need is something to collect. So I'm using sashes, but you can use socks or pieces of clothing. That's absolutely fine too. What you'll also need is a sack. So I'm using a sack that we use for carrying the balls, but you can use a pillowcase or something like that. Now, if you don't have anything like that, all you need to do is just put your feet together and jump with your feet together. To set up for this game, all you need to do is scatter your socks or your pieces of clothing or your items that you're collecting around the room. To play this game, what you got to do is you jump in the sack and then you've got to bounce around like a kangaroo and collect the items around the room. Now, obviously, if you don't have a sack, you're going to have to have your feet together and jump with your 2 feet together like a kangaroo does. For this game, all you'll need is a stick to pick things up with. So I'm using a mop, you might want to use a broom. You're also going to need something hard to pick up. So I'm using the plastic cones here, but you could use your shoes. I would suggest something hard because it's really difficult to pick it up when it's soft, like a pair of socks or something. To set up for this game, what you're going to do is you're going to spread out your items around the room. Now make sure that the opening that you're going to pick them up with is obviously upwards so that you can actually use the mop or the broom to pick them up. So to play this game, what you've got to do is you run out with your mop and you've got to bring those shoes or cones back to the start of where you started to run. Now you can make this harder or easier on yourself depending on the distance of how far you have to run to get to your items. Now there's only one rule for this game, and that is you are not allowed to use your hands to touch any part of the item you're picking up. So for this game you'll need 2 markers. So I've got a red and a yellow cone. And also what you'll need are items for your team. So these items have to be very obvious. So you could choose everything that's red for one team and then everything that's yellow for another team, and they can be different items, that's okay. So as you can see here, I'm using the sashes. So obviously the red sashes will be for one team and the yellow sashes will be for another. Alright, to set up for this game, what you need to do is one team member puts their marker down at one end of the court and the other team member does the same. And then what you're going to do is you're going to spread your items out behind your marker. To start this game, what you're going to do is set a timer for 5 minutes. Once the timer is started, both players run to the other end and take one item from the other team. There are a couple of rules though. Number 1 is you're only allowed to take one item at a time. Number 2, yes, you can steal your own back and take it back. And number 3, once the timer is over, the person with the most items behind their marker wins. Don't forget to head over to our PE Google Classroom to access your weekly activity.